Hey everyone, David Burgess here again with Keller Williams Realty. I hope you're doing well. Happy New Year. I hope you had some wonderful time off with your families over the Christmas and New Year period. It's certainly back to the grind for me now. I had some wonderful time off. But yeah, it's been a very busy start to 2022. And today I wanted to do a video on the new construction market update. A couple of weeks ago I did one on the resale market and what's going on in there, my ups and downs and everything that's been going on with that. But as we enter the new year, I wanted to do a new video and really set some realistic expectations of what you can anticipate with these builders and the market right now. So stick around. Today's video isn't going to be too long, but we're going to dive into what is going on out there right now if you're looking to build a new home in 2022 or possibly even 2023. Right then, so hopefully you can see me okay. The lighting keeps coming in and out a little bit here, but I'm trying not to make this video too long and really just to get into the nitty-gritty of what is going on out there right now. And firstly, back in July, I did a market update video for you on new construction homes, and I set 3 expectations with you that still stand today. One of them was the price point. I would expect the home to cost 10 to 15% more than what you had initially hoped or budgeted for. Secondly was to expect some kind of bidding war or a wait list for the homes in the best communities, best areas, best builders, the most desirable floor plans. And thirdly are delays. Now we're still seeing delays too. It's still taking a good 10 to 12 months on average to build a home. That is still definitely the case. Now we are hoping that things will lighten in that regard, where the supply chains have started to regain some sort of normalcy, and there is more labor on the ground, because we have definitely struggled with labor here lately. Like, there's just not enough manpower and bodies on the ground to get homes built in a time frame that we were all expecting. So that is still very prevalent, and you are noticing that here. The other thing is, I'm getting a lot of inquiries at the moment about quick move-in homes. You know, there's quick move-in homes on pretty much every builder's website, but that unfortunately that does not mean that there's a quick move-in home available. There are very, very few quick move-in homes out there right now. I've had 3 inquiries already this year where people are looking for a brand new home and they want to be here within the next 3 months. I promise you it is near enough impossible to find that unless something falls through and slips through the net, where somebody's financing has just not worked out and the home's gone back on the market. But we aren't seeing any of that. Well, much of that at least. I haven't had one of those homes over the last 18 months or so, whereas before then you would have the odd buyer that kind of pulled out for whatever reason. So things to think about if you are looking to be here for a quick move-in home, or a home that is brand new in the next few months. It's going to be very difficult. Even for the summer, like June or July, it's going to be very difficult. I have come across a few homes that are anticipated June or July in the MLS. And I do know a few builders that have started construction for those homes already, and I'm hopeful that they'll be ready in like June or July. But I would still expect a kind of 60 day delay on most of those homes. It's been frustrating. It's been truly frustrating. The amount of times I check in on my new construction homes that I have being built for our buyers regularly on a weekly basis, and the amount of times I'll go to a home 2 or 3 weeks later and very little progress has been made, where there's drywall that is still in the house or in the garage and it's sat there and there's nobody there to do it. So I'm not buying into this that the materials aren't all here, because clearly there's a lack of manpower too. With other with other kind of struggles, we are coming across, like trusses at the moment are a struggle to get hold of in time. It's not the lumber itself, it's the metal plates that connect them. They're struggling to get hold of those. There's always been something. Last year we had window delays, there were paint delays. I mean, paint. I mean, really? I mean, I had one in December where there was no paint on the porch, and the buyers went to closing and the porch didn't look great and the back patio didn't look great. The builder couldn't source any porch paint. I guess it's a exterior specific paint, and they cannot source it. So things like paint are pretty surprising that they cannot source things like that right now. So we are still seeing struggles, but we are hopeful that things will get better in that regard. Honestly, to be honest, they couldn't get much worse than what they were in 2021. I don't think there was one builder that I worked with that had everything together. We closed on 56 new construction homes last year with a real wide range of builders between my wife and I and our buyer's agent, and I can honestly count on one hand the amount of homes that were in a really great presentable condition when we came to our first walkthrough. Most of them had a list of things that they needed to rectify after closing. We call it an exception letter. If it could be to do with a cabinet, like a cabinet isn't closing properly, they need to order the new cabinet. It could be a new door then they're looking to replace. It might be a scratch on a window. It could be anything, guys. It really could. So I would also expect to close with the home 97 to 99% complete. In November, we had 4 closings with Lennar, where that's the end of their year, their end of their fiscal year. And we work with this construction manager, and I've never felt so sorry for somebody in a work environment. Honestly, this guy was managing like 27 homes in the neighborhood, and he said that he'd slept in his truck overnight because there was so much that needed doing that he was just continuing to work, and it was just him. And honestly, it was just ridiculous. Like, you could tell he was being pulled left and right, this guy. I'm not sure if he was on like a bonus to if he got all these homes over the line by the end of their fiscal year, but needless to say, all of them weren't ready. I think 2 of them we closed on. The other 2, one of them is actually closing in January because it was just nowhere near ready, and the other one closed in December. That's the kind of pressures these builders are putting on their salespeople, their construction managers. It's not been great, guys. But what I would say is, now more than ever, you really do need an advocate for you. You need a realtor representing you. Obviously, if you work with us, we never charge any fees or anything. We do get compensated by the builder, and that we get basically a cut of what they pay our brokerage under a marketing fee. But in terms of you going alone, I really don't recommend it now more than ever, because sales agents move around. It's very unlikely they will be there when the home is ready, and also the construction managers are moving around. There's many that have just got are too stressed. They've left companies, they've gone on to something bigger and better. There's a real shortage of manpower in the construction market right now here in the west coast of Florida, at least. So just things to think about. It's I'm really not painting this in a good light, am I? This whole building a new home thing. Look, there is still great opportunity out there in certain areas, but you do need to be connected with where those opportunities are. If you try and do this all alone, it will be very difficult. I have so many people that reach out to me and they want to be in one area, or they're kind of lured to one specific neighborhood, and I'll be like, well, have you seen this? And have you seen this floor plan? This is very similar, but you can go to contract today. There's no bidding war, or there's no, there's a small wait list, but you can go to contract very soon. There's a new community that's opened here. Have you seen this? So definitely keep your options open. I absolutely would keep your options open in terms of your geographic area of Florida. Maybe you might be open to different areas, and I would definitely keep the resale market on board as well, because there's inevitably going to be more listings coming and hitting the market soon as we come into 2022. But right now inventory is still super low. I'm just looking at it daily and thinking, wow, this is really slow. But inevitably that's going to change, and you may well want to opt for a newer resale home, like a home built anywhere from like 2016 to 2021. Like you may prefer that to going with a builder today. So plenty to think about. Now, I am going to be doing more videos on new construction communities on a weekly or bi-weekly basis of the ones where I see the most opportunity. We are seeing, you know, some good spec home opportunities available, although you have less to choose from because the builder has chosen it. We know of a few builders that are building on great lots, and they're adding pools. That is another thing with new construction, is there's many builders at the moment that aren't adding pools. So people were kind of going over their budget and then having to add a pool afterwards. You need to know which builders are adding pools, which ones aren't. And we've also come across, I got under contract yesterday for a home in Del Webb in Lakewood, and they are adding pools, but they're limited in the styles and the customizations they can do with the pool. So it's, you know, it's not great. Taylor Morrison have just stopped adding pools. I don't know if that's going to be throughout this year, or if they are going to resume that at a certain point. But for them to build such a beautiful home, and some of them are very customized and absolutely stunning, and then not to add a pool for people is frustrating. So yeah, you're gonna have to bear with this crazy market right now, especially with new construction. There are just there's a lot of moving parts, and it really does. You have to have somebody working with you who is very well connected, and really have somebody there that is with you, advocating for you throughout the whole construction, because it's so imperative that you have somebody there throughout your walkthroughs and your inspections. I had a walkthrough with WCI Homes in December for one of those delayed Lennar homes that I was mentioning, and sorry, it was late November, and it was just, there's nothing worse than a home not being ready than having no representation from the builder. The construction manager was sick and nobody called us, so we got there to a 90% built home, and there's nobody there to say, well, look, I know this is wrong, or this isn't ready yet, but we're going to put this right. There was nothing. Like, we were there standing around for 30 minutes picking apart this house, where we're like, it should have been a dream home and a dream process for my buyers, and in the end we're just looking, and it was just horrible. There was like a door frame that was stood up in the great room, and it had been there for like 3 months. Nobody had ever installed it or removed it. You know, we had like a cooktop that was all slanted and hadn't been installed. I mean, the buyers are obviously checking in on the home, and I'm checking in on it regularly, but when these little things there's no progress, and there's litter scattered about in the front yard or the backyard, you can tell by the small little things if a construction manager is really on top of a new construction home or not. And unfortunately, you might start off with a really great construction manager, and he or she leaves, and then you're with somebody else who's coming in who may not be familiar with the builder, the floor plan, the processes of that builder. So you really just need somebody there to be with you every step of the way, and really somebody who can order you a third-party home inspection to inspect the home has been absolutely taken care of from top to bottom from a professional standpoint, and somebody who is completely independent from the transaction. We always order them anyway, but last year in 2021 we had to do many that were within the warranty period after closing, because I cannot tell you the amount of times I sent one of my home inspectors to inspect a house and there was no electricity hooked up, the AC wasn't functioning, there was no running water, there was still workers in there that couldn't get in. It's been really tough in 2021, and honestly 2022 cannot be any worse than 2021, but you still need some really good representation. And obviously, if you're in the market for a new or a newer home, then reach out. And sorry guys, I'm not sure what happened there. Yeah, hopefully you heard me okay there. But yeah, if you are still in the market for a new or or a newer home, reach out, because it's really about where the best opportunities are right now and where I see the value. And I will be covering a lot of these communities on a weekly basis, bi-weekly basis, and honing in on where I definitely see the value right now with new construction. So any questions, you know where I am. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this video shorter than normal because I do rabble on a little bit, and my videos go like 20-30 minutes even for some of them. So any questions or concerns, just give me a call or leave a comment underneath, and I will do my very best to help you out. So have a great day, and as always, please like this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more from me. Take care, guys, and again, Happy New Year.